Welcome back. Today I have for you another review, and this time is the Infallible Pro-Matte Foundation from L'Oreal. This is their new foundation, and I've been seeing so many reviews lately that I've wanted to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on it. So here I am reviewing it for you guys. And since you guys liked my recent review on the Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation, I decided to maybe compare both since they're both matte, because apparently the drugstore is having fun with matte products, which I'm not complaining because I love matte products since I am normal to oily skin. So for us oily people, these are great. So I decided to compare and contrast both and let you guys know which one I think is better. And also at the end of the video, I will be including a demo since many of you guys were asking for one when I made this one. And as always, I will be letting you guys know my pros and cons of this foundation. So without further ado, let's get started. So they do have a large variety of products in the Infallible line, which I find pretty interesting. And first of all, let's start talking about packaging, because to me, that's one of the most important things in a new product, because it's just more eye-catching and interesting, and people gravitate more toward a nice packaging than a regular not so interesting packaging, if you know what I mean. But I do like this one. It's just very chic and elegant at the same time, and I think it's very convenient to travel with as well. I also like the fact that it's very thin, and it is 1 fluid ounce, which is the same thing as the Fit Me foundation one, which I actually thought this one had more product just because it is very thin, like I mentioned, but it's the same thing, so that's a good thing. And I also like the fact that the packaging is very informative. Like, it brings a lot of information. In the back, it has some interesting and informative information, which I find pretty convenient, and it says lasting demi matte finish, never dull, never flat. And then it says the finish is demi matte. It also says wear up to 24 hours, which I don't know who wears foundation for 24 hours, but if that's the case, that's a great thing to have in a foundation. Coverage, it says it is medium, but to me, it's more of a medium to full coverage. You could definitely build this up. Texture, it's air light, which I totally go for because it's very light on the face. You barely feel it, so it's very natural as well. It's oil control, like I mentioned. And then it has a little demo letting you guys know how to apply the foundation, and it says pro tip, smooth onto skin in rolling motion for flawless coverage. And I am the color 108 Caramel Beige, if you were wondering. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much the packaging. I'm now going to start with the pros and cons of the foundation. First off, one of my favorite things about L'Oreal is the fact that they always offer a great range of colors to choose from. So it's always easy to find tones for light skin or dark skin, which I find very convenient. To me, L'Oreal and Maybelline are one of those lines that really offers a great range of colors. I love the fact that this is a full-on matte foundation. I just think it's very convenient for normal to oily skin. That's what I am. But I don't know about dry skin, to be quite honest with you, because it's matte. It's super matte. But aside from that, I love the matte finish, and it's also very in right now, so it's a pro. Like I mentioned earlier, this claims to have a medium coverage, but to me, this is definitely a medium to full coverage. You could totally build this up and make it a full coverage foundation, because I do have some dark spots right here, and that covered it all. I will be showing a demo at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But I also love the fact that this is a really long-lasting foundation as well. It's not 24 hours. I'm not going to like exaggerate to that point, but it's 16-hour wear, I feel. Although this is a medium to full coverage foundation, it's also a really light foundation, which I like. It just gives you a really natural finish, and you could definitely use this as an everyday foundation, like the no makeup look, if you take the eye makeup and the contouring and all that fun stuff. But I really like that about it. In the demo I'm going to show you guys at the end of the video, I realized I was able to use my regular foundation brush and also my beauty blender. The beauty blender gives you a more natural finish, and the brush gives you a more full coverage foundation look. Alright, now cons, I do have a few, I'm not going to lie. I just feel like this foundation is very drying. Like, these are both matte, but I still feel like this one is less matte compared to the L'Oreal one. So if you are dry skin, I wouldn't recommend for you to use the L'Oreal one. I would recommend for you to use the Fit Me one if you want that matte finish, but not so drying. Because even though I am normal to oily skin, like I mentioned, I still get dry sometimes, especially in the winter time, around my cheeks and my mouth. And this one, I feel like it's more drying. Although throughout the hours, it's still a really nice finish, just because I am normal to oily skin, so I do produce some oil still. But if you are dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this one. I mean, if you are dry skin, I wouldn't recommend either, to be quite honest with you. But if you want to try a matte foundation, I would go for the Fit Me one, just because it is a little bit less drying. I just feel like maybe the formula is what makes it less drying, just because this one is a little bit more thicker than this one. That's also another con. I feel like this foundation, it's a lot more thicker than this one is, even though they're both matte. You definitely don't need to set this with a powder, which I absolutely love. I mean, right now I didn't set it with any powder, and that's what it looks like. It still gives me a matte finish. That's why I didn't get the powder, just because I feel like this foundation is very matte compared to the Fit Me one. Another con I have is the fact that even though this foundation offers a great range of colors, it's still really hard to choose your tone, just because from the display that it has, it doesn't really help you too much, because I mean, if you look at this and you compare it to my skin tone, it doesn't really match too well. Like, this is way too light compared to my skin tone, but what's inside, it's my actual skin tone, if you know what I mean. And my last con, it has to be the price. It is a little bit more pricey to be a drugstore foundation, especially compared to the Fit Me foundation. This was $6.99 at the Harmon store, and I got this for $11 or $12.99. The Infallible line itself, it's more pricey compared to other L'Oreal products because it is more pro, high-end, and kind of better quality, I would say. I mean, I would totally give it. It's a great foundation, but compared to the Fit Me foundation, the price, it's very, very different. This is $6.99 at the Harmon store, and I got this for $11 or $12.99, like I mentioned earlier. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful and informative for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more reviews and what you'd like to see being reviewed. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and see you next time. Bye.